There we go. I didn't add myself to the stage. That would help.
Just me standing here like a moron.
That's right.
That
How
was
it works.
first time for everything, I guess. Not bad. Pretty
Did
good.
you like what I did? Right?
Yeah. I actually think that we gotta figure out a way to take like the Forgotten Cinema logo and animate it like it did in the National Amusement Days. Like it would be like it spin around or something like that.
Oh yeah, in the future we get an animator to animate. Oh, actually, I found out
we're getting people now.
I can export the whole thing as all of its layers into Premiere.
Sure.
So I can take each layer and move them around individually. So if I'm really bored one day, I can go around and move each one and then just copy paste so they all just kind of float, which I think would be really cool.
I feel like you're enhancing your video skills now, which I think is good. I think that's for other things you can do. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
So hi everybody. If anyone's even watching, I can't even tell.
I have the YouTube up on my laptop. I'm using my laptop to display the
sure,
because the countdown was too long. It's 30 minutes for the coming soon thing. So to see the chat on there, I have it there because I don't know if our StreamYard chat, which if you go into the comment section, which I think you already have, that's what
I'm in the shoot, you're right. Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, whatever. We'll see. Well, I mean, let's just, that's fine.
I don't believe anyone's watching. It says one person watching, and that's me on my laptop. So.
Nice. Well, Butler, as I'm talking to you, well, this is going to be recorded and put out there anyway, so that's fine.
Absolutely.
For those who don't watch the lead up stuff, I'm coming to you from our destroyed basement. You probably saw the commercial we did, or the little thing I did, the little, hey, well, watch our stuff. That's what's going on back there. That's getting fixed in 2 days.
Nice.
The crack in the basement, and then the room will get built out, and then we'll figure out. You know what I was thinking, Butler? The 2 poster cases that I have here that are adjustable, I was thinking about moving them into there so that we can always change right. So that we can always change the poster depending upon what we're doing. So I thought that would be good too, since we both, I'm sure, have a huge collection of posters.
My trunk in my car is just posters.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got posters from the 90s. So I know I have a Clerks poster. I have a Jurassic Park poster. So I have all those Jurassic Park. I know I have several Jurassic Park Lost World posters. So yeah, no. So we've got some good ones that we can shine. So I think having that over there might help us swap it out and stuff. And of course, the one that you want, the Italian Army of Darkness poster, which will go up. So that'll be sweet to see. So yeah. I'm hoping my kid doesn't get scared, but who cares?
Scared of
right, so I guess
abs.
What's up?
Scared of
abs. Exactly. Yeah, who isn't? All right. So why don't you, I guess, kick us off and what we're gonna do and how this is gonna play out?
I don't freaking know.
I'm just trying. I'm giving you. I've talked for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So if anyone is watching, or for the people watching,
they are watching. Home game edition. Nice.
For those watching after the live stream, or for those watching right now, this is our first episode of Now Showing. That's kind of our own. Oh, I have to turn my lights off too.
Great, good stuff. Bye, Butler. So I'll do it. So this is our first. So we've done a couple Now Showing episodes before, but they were more for. It was a partnership with I can't remember the name of the studio, the production company, excuse me, that asked us to reach out when we were like in the middle of our first couple years, and we did a movie about the Maserati documentary. We did an episode of that, and we did one about aliens. Right,
we did the Wow Signal
alien movie.
Maserati,
Wow Signal, that's right. So, and we call that Forgotten Cinema Now Showing. So we've always talked about doing this when we were doing the main show about watching newer movies and talking about them, but like not so long, maybe like a 20-30 minute show, but not like I'm gone, I've disappeared. Not like the main show, which is we go through all the facts and the numbers and stuff like that. We just kind of talk about our thoughts and stuff like that. But this is different because this is also a combination show, because we're going to do a little bit of Now Showing, and then, as you know, we're coming back for it's season 17 basically, but it'll be our first season of the new reboot, which starts May 1st. But we have yet to pick the films that we're going to cover in those first 13 episodes. So that's going to happen after our our now showing episode, and we're going to go. Basically, you're going to see us doing a lot of this. All right, so I want this, and let's do this. We're just gonna be picking. So so it's fun. And what's funny, Mike, is that Pat, our friend Pat Whalen, who I did the Yet Another MCU podcast with, reached out to me and was like, "Are you really doing a live show, or are you like, is it scripted? Like we had picked these already."
Right.
Live, because he's like, "I've got suggestions." I'm like, "Well, send them." So I try to drop like 10 suggestions into the big list, so you'll see them, and it's all like Pat suggestion, Pat suggestion. He picked role models. I go, "Pat, we did that." So clearly, big fan of the show. So, but yeah, so I guess we're doing Dune Part 2 because me and you saw it last night, correct?
That is correct. Unless it was some kind of fever dream. I do believe we
were
watched Dune Part 2 last night.
We did not drink the
water
worm,
of life.
The water of life, the worm piss, the Mountain Dew, whatever it is, that code.
Romulan
What is that
ale?
called? Yeah, yeah.
Mountain Dew.
What's the mountain? What is that blue drink called? Because I don't
Is it
go to.
Livewire?
Taco
I think
Bell.
it's Livewire.
I have no idea. No idea.
Well, Baja Blast
Anyways.
is also
That
green.
maybe that's what is that what I'm thinking about? Is that green?
Baja Blast is another type of green, a different color green. I think you're thinking of
I
Livewire, which is their blue one.
As I don't partake in that. A lot of Butler is probably the bigger Taco Bell Mountain Dew guy, right? So that's not really me.
I don't like Baja Blast, but I do like Mountain Dew.
Oh, really?
And Taco Bell.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm probably the only person I've ever met that doesn't like Baja Blast. It just tastes like off Mountain Dew. It's not different enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hot take.
So last night we saw Dune Part 2 in our local IMAX theater. Actually, the place we used to work at, and we were probably with about 50 people, 50, 60 people.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of people for a Monday.
All dudes, not all dudes, but it was someone who kept getting up and leaving. She left one time, and I'm like, you didn't go long enough to go to the bathroom. You went to go whatever you went to go do, and then came back because that was fast. But I always love when they apologize. I'm like, it's fine, I get it. Butler picked seats at the end of the row, so this is what we're doing. This is what we're doomed to do.
Thought you liked the end of the row. Well, I mean, it was kind of slim pickings. Everyone picks the middle, which makes sense.
No, I know.
The middle is the best.
That's why AMC charges those premiere prices for those middle seats. Yeah, no, screw that. All right, so we kind of talked a little bit about this movie after we watched it. We both enjoyed Dune Part 1. I think I don't know if we'd never really talked about it on the show, but we both liked the movie.
Right. Yeah.
What were your on the drive home? Were you thinking about the movie, or today were you thinking about the film? Like, what were your, I guess, first takes or initial thoughts or whatever?
I was definitely thinking about the show or the movie all night and all day. I think it
was it your modern day Empire Strikes Back?
It has appreciated for me over time. I will say, I don't know. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. That's the Dune book behind me, by the way. See that product placement? You're welcome, Frank Herbert.
What is? Isn't he dead?
Yeah, for a while since 1985.
Rough, Butler. Come on, rough.
That's a taller. I mean, to call something an Empire Strikes Back is really kind of like, come on.
It's dumb.
But I will say,
whatever. It's fine.
I mean,
I shouldn't say it's dumb.
Denis Villeneuve, as I've been told, that's how you pronounce it. I always butcher his name. I apologize.
Okay.
His movies are just home run after home run after home run, especially in the sci-fi genre. I've never seen Prisoners.
I was going to say, have you seen all of his films?
Prisoners seems excellent, but it also seems really depressing. So I've seen
it is
great acting from that film in clips, but I don't know if I could watch the whole thing. But I mean, Arrival.
Stop being a baby, just watch it.
Arrival, Blade Runner, obviously, Dune Part 1, now Dune Part 2. I think he's got a great handle on what makes great sci-fi. He's obviously got a great eye for the screen, for cinema. I mean, I think, I just keep thinking was that one of the best IMAX movies I've watched? And I think it might be. In terms of
really?
For how, when the sandcrawlers are coming through, not sandcrawlers, the spice harvesters are going through on the sand, and you can, and the thumpers are going, you can feel everything that's happening. And there's not one scene that doesn't fill the entire frame, which I love when, Christopher Nolan films that one giant scene in IMAX that, the screen all of a sudden goes, but it's also a little distracting. I think because
Mhm.
I've watched so many different IMAX films that I really like when one film fills the screen correctly the way it was meant to.
Was this shot with IMAX cameras? Do you know that offhand?
I believe so.
Okay.
At least I know that IMAX is making a big deal out of it, so I think so.
That's just okay. Um, I'm trying. I was while you said that, I'm trying to think of IMAX films that we've watched.
It's not going to
Uh,
be Tron because I'm sure you'll put up Tron, and Tron was
I
the
didn't even
best
I didn't even think of
IMAX
that, but
I've
yes, I
seen.
really like. But we always talk about the opening of Godzilla. When the IMAX
Oh,
the 10 through 1 comes in and it's like
numbers
you
can't
hear
move.
Godzilla's roar. I like that. I like Ghost Protocol. I like this. I like when Brad Bird does with Ghost Protocol when he's gonna walk outside the building for some. I'm talking about Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol,
Right.
and the screen widens out and then he has to walk on the side of that building in Dubai. I liked that part. I mean that's fine. It's an epic saga. It should fill the screen. It should feel big. So yeah, that's cool.
But in terms of, I think that the story, it is very well told. It's very well done. I think that while you and I say we like the first one, I mean, I'm sure you're a little bit more of a stickler when it comes to, sci-fi, and I'm a little bit more of an apologist. I think um,
Okay.
Dune 1 wasn't perfect. I mean, it was
Sure.
fabulous in terms of adapting the novel. But in terms of a film, I think there were things that I think we talked about briefly: the stilted dialogue, the lack of action, um, the lack of kind of. I mean, it sets up the characters, but it doesn't really have much of a plot yet. I
Mm-hmm.
think that it's all setting the stage, and this one kind of answers it. Has a plot through and through. They've less. I mean, what's uncouth the dialogue? I don't know how to say, like, they speak more like human beings do now. It's not like trying to be like highborn speech, which could be a purposeful choice. Now Paul Atreides in a noble house. He's on his own. He's with the Fremen, so maybe that was on purpose. There's more jokes. It's a little lighter, even though they're dealing with heavy themes. And I just think it's a better film. That's definitely got a bigger budget. There were a couple of scenes in the first one I remember where, like, the flashback to, or when Paul has his dream where he's a Fedaykin and he does a somersault over the soda car, and then all of a sudden his visor pops up and it's like a copy pasted, like, bad Photoshop job of Chalamet on top of this CGI fighter. I thought that every time I see that shot, it's just worse and worse and worse. And I don't think there was any of that in this film. I think you get a shot of Chani doing the same thing, but it's done much
Mm-hmm.
better and it looks real. It doesn't look as shoddy as in the first one.
Right. I was seeing, like, because you talked about the humor, and I was seeing how there was some criticism for Stilgar being funny, like Javier Bardem's character just kind of being like laughable. People were, like what he was doing, like his whole
Sure, it was definitely
undying
used for
belief in the
comic
yeah.
relief.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to ask you that like you don't get that in the first film. And so are we to think two things? One, are we to think that we just didn't get enough of Stilgar in the first film to really judge what type of person he was in this film? Or did they purposely write him differently here? I'm because it was a choice. I can't think that they chose to have Bardem play Stilgar the way he played it, not thinking it was funny or not thinking that he's there to lighten the mood. His undying, unflinching devotion to the prophecy. It comes off fanatical, but it also comes off jokingly fanatical. So I'm wondering if that choice was always that way from when they started writing Dune Part 1, or it's something they did when they started after the first film and they got into Part 2. What do you think there?
You question Stilgar's motives? You must be Lisan al-Gaib. Oh my God, it's prophecy. I don't know. I think it works a bunch of ways. I think having him making fun of it at the beginning makes it kind of worse at the end when you're like, oh shit, no, that's not good. Stop, Stilgar. You're doing bad stuff. I think it
Mhm.
adds to the shock value toward the end of people who maybe don't know the story of Dune and don't know what's going to
Mhm.
happen. I think it adds to that. I think that Stilgar in the first film is very much kind of antagonistic. I think there's hints that he thinks Paul might be the chosen one, but there's not a lot. So I think you have to kind of turn that on its head because in the story, Stilgar is a mentor to Paul and stuff. So you have to like all of a sudden go, okay, well now he's with you, so now Stilgar is going to believe. I think that's just kind of like what has to happen.
Uh, the Johnny character at the end of the movie, she's the only. It feels like she's the only one that hasn't bought in now, which I find really like really only one person out of the million Fremen don't believe. Like she, I mean, obviously it's because she knows him and she's got a connection with him
Right.
emotionally. But I'm just curious why. And this kind of leads me to my next question. What do you think are they like? They end the movie on a shot of her, like she's the final shot of the movie, not him, not what's happening, but her. So what am I, or what are we supposed to take from that for going into the next film, knowing that the next film is coming? And why is she the only one that doesn't buy into this?
Well, I think, like you said, she knows him. I think that
Sure.
he surrounds himself with his close circle, which are people who now are totally bought into his prophecy. I mean, he kind of is the chosen one. He can do all the things Stigler says. Whether or not he's really a god or not is up for debate. But the fact that he has superpowers, is not up for debate. He's reading those people's mind. It's not a parlor trick anymore. But for Chani, she realizes that now, this outsider, colonial outsider, has taken control, which is what she didn't want to happen. And that's not how it is in the books. In the books, she's much more on Paul's side. She stays with him. She's his concubine. She becomes his Lady Jessica. Princess Irulan is just kind of there. She does her Empress stuff, and Paul is Emperor and Duke, but he's got Chani. And Chani's who he has kids with. I believe that Chani's who he has kids with. So in this, it's different that she goes off, but you need that kind of person that doesn't buy into it. I think that helps the message of the movie, and I think that Frank Herbert would probably like that because anybody who says that Paul is a hero, he talks about how beware of sharp-tongued prophets. Like he talked about how Paul Atreides was kind of his answer to like JFK. People that promise all this stuff but really are kind of shady and be like they're doing it for their own purposes. I think the movie does a good job looking at that and the push and pull of Paul, not wanting to do that, which from the book I remember him kind of being a little bit more, all right, this is what I'm going to do to get revenge for my dad. But in this, you get a lot more push and pull from Paul until Paul says it's too late. It's very similar, when people try to make comparisons to things they've seen. I think a lot of modern audiences, I'm surprised no one's made this, is like Doctor Strange with the newest Avengers movie, where he's like only one chance in a million, and it's the crappy choice where a lot of people are going to have to die, but it's the only way to set the course. And I think as people watch these movies, if they do make, Dune 4, 5, 6, and do the
God,
books, you're going to
really?
see that it's the Bene Gesserit plan is not just like all right, everything's going to be better now. It's going to get a lot worse before things get better because of how bad it gets to disrupt the status quo. And I think that this movie does a good job of showing like not all heroes are heroes, just because you're rooting for him to do something doesn't necessarily mean it was the right choice or the best choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like what they did with Shani there. It
Well, I
also makes
asked
it
you
less of like
this.
oh, I love you, kind of just like a
Who said
hanger on
that?
Shani.
Oh,
It makes her less of
that's
that.
fine. True. I think you probably can't have that with modern day audiences, and that's probably not a plot line that's very interesting. So I can concur with that. I asked you this at the movie when it ended. We were sitting in our seats watching all the credits, like good moviegoers do.
I mean, it's a fantastic score too. So
Yeah. So I asked you this then, but how do I? You know what? I totally blanked on what I asked you. Dang it! What did I ask you at the end of them? I know what I asked. Excuse me. His character, I said to you, they set him up to be, because he is. I know the books, and
Right.
in this movie they make allusions to that future, but I still don't think they lay it out like it's going to be bad. I think they just say. I think a lot of people will hang on that when he says there's one way to get through this. I think they're going to buy into the fact that maybe that's the good way. Like, if he at the end of in the third one becomes somebody of an anti-hero, a bad guy, he can't control what's happening, and he started this and he can't, and you know what I mean, like he's not the hero. Do you think audiences will be cool with that? Do you think that that's something that, like, you know what I mean, like, do you think that's like a turn in a movie, in a motion picture where people have not read the books?
Right.
Do you think that that's going to be as successful as if they go like a more hero route that they would do?
Well, I'm kind of glad that you started that down this route, because this is something I did want to bring up as well during this. Is like everybody's praising this movie and like loving this movie, but and no offense to a lot of audiences, and anybody watching Forgotten Cinema obviously is a film lover, so this is not a knock on them, but this is a knock on the general audiences who like watch maybe a couple Marvel movies a year, maybe like the big Tom Cruise movie, and that's it. They're not big moviegoers. There's no chance in hell that they all love this movie as much as they're saying. I think for a lot of people, this movie is very highbrow and they don't want to seem stupid. And so they're saying, oh, I love this movie. But I'm sure no one could tell you what, when Paul says, send them to paradise, half these people who love this movie don't understand what he's saying. They don't understand what happened at the end of this film. There's no chance. I worked at the theater for almost 2 decades. You worked there forever. The average moviegoer is dumb. They don't get this movie. There's no way. And then the second movie, when Paul isn't even necessarily the main character in his own movie, I'm super looking forward to it, because
I'm talking about the next movie, not the next movie. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because people think this movie is kind of breaking the mold and being a little different. The next movie is going to really, really kind of challenge their perceptions of what a grand epic could be.
Mm-hmm. Well, you hope. We don't know yet.
I would hope he sticks with the source material. I can't imagine they're not going to greenlight his third movie at this point. With all, so
you want them to be more on par with what the books are. You don't want them to deviate too much. I mean, I know they do make some deviations, and we talked about that a little bit,
right,
for the sake of the story. But you do want them to follow the books more closely.
Yeah, I mean, the books get weird. The books get, I mean, the movie's already kind of weird. The books get weirder as they go along, but the second book and the third book aren't too bad. They're not when it gets a little unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hope they kind of go that route and maybe change things for, the better. Things do get a little muddled and strange as they go, but I think the themes of the book and what the overarching storyline, as long as they stick to the main point, I think will be very interesting to see what audiences think of that. But I think that would have to be like, if Denis says, I don't want to make the fourth one, someone else who's an auteur filmmaker who has that kind of grand sci-fi sensibility as well can carry on that torch and make books, 4, 5, and 6, maybe combine them. I don't think it needs a 6 movies series, but I think if they do 4, 5 movies, condense some of the books down,
I can't see them doing that. I can see them doing the trilogy and then moving on. I mean, this movie was so expensive. The next movie is going to be even worse. And they have to make a lot of money to make back that money.
True.
I could see a trilogy, but I can't see them doing beyond. But whatever, maybe a different director, a whole new cast.
I mean, if they do just one more movie, they still don't finish Paul's story quite yet. So they would have to start combining Dune Messiah, which is the next book in the series, and Children of Dune.
Did Austin Butler's character, Fayed Routh, did I say that right? Fayed Routh?
Fayed Routh? I don't know.
Whatever. Does he, spoiler alert, everybody, does he die in this, in the books the way he does here?
Oh yeah, they have a last sort of fight. Yeah.
Cause he's like a good character. And then it's just like, oh, he's gone. Like Darth Maul and Phantom Menace.
Well, a lot of people were disappointed he wasn't in the first one, because he is in more of the books.
Oh, he's supposed to be in the first one? Oh, okay.
I mean, who knows the way he like cuts it up. I mean, I don't remember. I mean, it was a little while ago. I reread the book. I reread it before the first movie came out,
Mhm,
but I don't
mhm.
remember like any of the Planet Harkonnen stuff or the Benny Gesserit. Maybe I remember some Benny Gesserit stuff regarding him. I do know he's kind of like the anti-Paul, but like I don't remember a lot of that Planet Harkonnen stuff, which I thought was really cool. Like you said, he's a really
Mhm.
cool bad guy. I think the first
Mhm.
one they wanted to give kind of Batista's like Raban a chance to shine, so they could be like, you think he's bad? Now we got a real like the opposite of Count Dooku in Star Wars, where it's like you thought Darth Maul was badass. Wait till you see this 80-year-old man who fences.
Great.
You want to see
This
a
is my
super,
Phantom Menace.
you want to see a super zoomed out fight between him and a CGI Yoda?
Oh man, I think I've told this story before, and every time I bring it up, I always like to say it. One of my good friends back in the day, Kevin, rest in peace, man. We watched Attack of the was that was Attack of the Clones,
Attack of the
right?
Clones.
That scene, yeah, we're watching Attack of the Clones in the cinema showcase cinema number 2, in Orange, the second auditorium packed. And when Yoda starts fighting and he flips, I laughed like loud, and I laughed, and I turned to him, and I laughed right in his face, and he gave me the look like he was gonna beat me up, like he was so upset, and I was just like, all right, chill. I thought I was ridiculous, but he was a huge Star Wars guy, and he loved Star Wars. And so it was like his thing. And I remember having conversations with him being like, listen, you can love this stuff, that's fine, that's you're always gonna like it, I get it, but I'm not. Like, it's just like I have problems with stuff. I mean, just like I'll always make excuses, and I'll always love Indiana Jones. I don't care if people hate any of the movies. I mean, I still like them. And I'm unapologetic about that. And I tell people when they're like, "Oh, you think that movie's good?" King Crystal, the Kingdom of Skull. But we talked about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We talked about it all the time.
Right.
People are just like, I can't believe you like that. I'm like, I'm not fighting you. Listen, I like it. You can hate it. That's fine. I don't care. I still like it. And you can have your opinion. I can still have mine. I don't care. And they don't like that. They're like, well, like, I know you want to argue with me about it, but I'm not going to argue with you.
I just want you to be sad. I want to beat you up about your movie.
I did when I did an episode with the Pint, we did was it Triple T? Was that what it was for?
I think it was
we did an episode about it. And that I said, okay, John, I said, for that episode, I will produce my my reasoning for everything. I will answer all those questions. So I did it one time. And I mean, I came prepared for that. And but that's it. After that, I'm just like, I like it. I don't want to. And yes, I like Dial of Destiny, so I don't want to hear it either. So enough's enough. Done. All right.
I haven't met one person who actually didn't like Dial of Destiny in person. Anyway, I know a lot of people on the internet, but like everyone goes, "Did you watch the Indiana Jones? What did you think?" Yeah, I kind of like. They wait for me to say I liked it, and then they're like, "Yeah, I kind of liked it."
Just like it. Just say you like it. Who cares? Yeah. Anyway, so you said you like this film, but like you haven't really given me something in this film that you really didn't connect with. So you're saying that this film is not that perfect, but this film is basically one of the better films you've seen in quite some time. I'm talking about Dune Part 2. I've taken this tangent back to the Dune Part 2.
In terms of like sci-fi, I don't know if you remember when I saw Blade Runner 2049, like I was like, dude, this movie's so good. And you were like, calm down.
That sounds like me.
For Blade Runner, it was like right away I was like, oh man, this is great. For Dune, because it's long, it's even more heady than Blade Runner. It took me a little while. Like I liked it, but now the more I think about it all day, I'm just like, yes, I really like this film. It's a type of sci-fi that you don't really get ever. I mean, it's really only exists in books. Maybe some video games will do heavy sci-fi, but most of them, don't, by the nature of what they are, can't handle the story like this. I can maybe think of one example of that, and it took 3 or 4 games to make that story. Yeah, I think that this is in a class of its own. I don't think it's fair to compare it against Empire Strikes Back. It's not.
I don't like. I understand why people do that, because it's easy to let people know how much they love it, because they're quoting, or they're mentioning. Yeah, they're mentioning a movie that is revered by everybody. I get why you do that, but I won't personally do that. But I understand why people do that, because it's just to
Right.
let you know, like, listen, this is how much I like this movie.
And I think in terms of like modern blockbusters, I yeah, I mean it had the action. I love the way they handled the action. I love the way it was mixed with the story. I absolutely love the cinematography. I think the soundtrack was very, very good. I was listening to it today actually while doing some stuff. I think it's a little less out there than the first one, and it's more palatable. It's definitely really, really good. And I think Hans Zimmer just won the Oscar for Oppenheimer. When we're
Oh, did
recording
he?
this, he just won a
Oh,
couple days
oh,
ago.
you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, I should know that. Sorry.
So obviously,
Oppenheimer did very well.
yeah, obviously Hans Zimmer knows what he's doing. I think the soundtrack helps. I think, yeah, I mean, I really like this movie, but again, I really love sci-fi. So kind of, I'm a little bit more of a sci-fi apologist because you don't get a lot of space sci-fi anymore. And I mean, I really love space sci-fi. So I don't know what you're a little bit more of a stickler when it comes to stuff like this. You don't have that, like you said with Star Wars, like
Yeah.
space sci-fi isn't necessarily the thing where you're gonna hang your hat on and be like, this is it, let's go. What did you think about it?
So when I watched the first film, and we saw it in the theater, I was like, oh, that's good. But then when it was on TV, when it was on HBO Max or it was on HBO, and I would just flip it on, I just watch it, and I would watch a couple stuff, and I kind of like was like, all right, I kind of like this movie a lot. I was into it, I dug it, so I kind of, I wouldn't say, I guess Dune grew on me. I thought Dune Part 1 was a good movie. It was a really good movie. It grew on me more when I was at home watching it. So that's where I took that there. Dune Part 2, we only saw it once. And I really think that one of the reasons we started the podcast, the Forgotten Cinema podcast, not one of the reasons, but one of the reasons why I like doing the podcast is we're able to go revisit films that I maybe saw once or twice and I never saw again, or I never watched again. And sometimes they don't hold up. Sometimes I'm just like, maybe, I don't know, this doesn't work. Maybe I didn't realize why stuff didn't work. So I think with Dune Part 2, I need to see it again. I do. My first takes were like, it felt like, and these aren't negatives. These are just what my feelings about the film. I'm not trying to be negative.
Okay.
Well, no, because I'm giving you, like, in the first
Okay.
one, it's kind of like an origin story, right?
Sure.
Atreides gets there. Okay. And in the second one, it's almost still like an origin story, because now he has to become part of the Fremen, and now we have a montage of him fighting with the Fremen and stuff like that. So like now we're learning about them. So there was like, I thought it was interesting that you have a sequel to a film that is in essence another origin story a little bit. So you almost had like you're repeating the same storyline, which is I can't think of a movie and a sequel that was like that. I'm not saying I don't like that. I just thought it was very interesting that it's almost like it's very similar to what we just watched. And so I think maybe that helped me get into the movie a little bit more, like, but it was also like Fremen heavy in like the first 45 hour. It was just all for him and the Fremen, and you kind of got bits and pieces. And then all of a sudden the big world stuff started happening, Planet Harkonnen and all that stuff, and all like the politics and the emperor and all that stuff. Then we started getting all that other stuff coming in. So it was almost like there's big chunks. Like the movie was almost put together like chunks of plots and storylines. And I think it was done well, but there's just so much that I want to watch it again to really like, just kind of like, okay, how much do I like this film? Like that kind of thing. I'm not ready to be like, this is the best movie of the year or something like that. But I'm just, I want to see it again, because what I watched, I enjoyed. But I think any movie that you really love or any movie that you really hate, you should watch it more than once, because you just like, you want to know why. Like, why did you love this film so much? And I'm the whole fight at the end is great. The whole battle, even though it's all CGI, that's all done well. The music's done well. When they pop out of the sand, you know what I'm talking about? When they start running, the guys are running away, and the digital Fremen start popping out of the sand.
Very end. Yeah.
Yeah, and they start running. I'm sorry, but that score had to be from Dark Knight. Like that felt like a Dark Knight Rises like moment where it was like boom, 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 and then just come up. I thought that was really good. I enjoyed that.
That's one part of the movie I wasn't a huge fan of.
Oh, really?
When they pop out
scene,
only
or just
because
the end?
how did they get under the sand there?
It doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make
without them
sense.
seeing them. They're right in
There's a
front.
couple. There's a couple moments like that, which is why I want to rewatch it. There's a couple moments with the geography of what's happening. I'm just like, that doesn't make. I'm not following that, and it wasn't like that's dumb. It was just that I'm not following how that's happening. I need to see this again. And to be fair, a lot of filmmakers will do stuff like that. They'll piece stuff together. Go back and watch. I just talked about how I love Indiana Jones, but go back and watch some Spielberg stuff where he's done the action. The action sometimes doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like all of a sudden he's in the woods, and then all of a sudden he's in the desert, like stuff like that. Like it doesn't make sense, but you're into it, so it doesn't matter. So there was stuff like that, like you're talking about. Like, I just didn't understand the geography of like, how did they end up there all of a sudden? Like, why is he there? I don't get that. I thought he was back there. Like, so yes, absolutely, there was stuff like that in this film. That I want to see it again to figure it out.
So before I burned my nerd cred, I said the planet, it was Planet Harkonnen. It's Gidi Prime is the Harkonnen's home planet.
I didn't even call it Planet Harkonnen, dude.
You did call it Planet Harkonnen.
I said Harkonnen. I said the Harkonnen. Nope, I didn't. I knew.
Gidi Prime is their home planet. So
that's your man. You suck.
I've corrected my thing.
The
The second thing is, when you were talking about how it's like two origin stories, do you think that's kind of similar to how in Star Wars Luke is kind of, the first one is his introduction to the rebellion and his second one is his introduction to the Jedi?
You mean like when he's with Yoda?
Right.
That stuff in Empire?
Yeah.
I guess, but here's the difference. I still think the Dagobah scenes are boring in Empire.
I forgot you don't like the
listen, and I still think the movie's great, but I always hate that. I'm so bored with those scenes. When I was a kid, they bored me, and when I'm older, I'm like, get to the action.
What a Yoda hater.
No, I just think they're boring. That's all. It's fine. I want Han Solo and all that stuff. I want the I want the Cloud City fight. I want the
You'll get the Green Muppet and you'll love it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I guess you're right. I guess that's your point is valid. Yeah, I
wasn't trying to invalidate. I just, when you were saying it, I was like, that kind of reminds me of this.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. But I think I think maybe because like I'm thinking of the montage. I'm thinking of just like he's like, because it starts right after the first film, and then all of a sudden he's got to learn the Fremen ways, and then they montage it, and he's part of them, and he's building rapport. And it's over a long stretch of the movie. So I think that's why I was like, oh, this feels like an origin story. This feels like his origin story in terms of when he becomes part of the Fremen and one of them and stuff like that. So that's kind of like where I was at with that. So, but I understand what you're saying. Burning that nerd cred. All right, so I don't want to go too long. We both like the movie. We both talked about. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you wanted to bring up, or do you wanted to kind of discuss?
I love how they get rid of the thumpers. Just like it's some advancement.
I think that's everybody says that.
Just all these thumpers are getting lost. Like they've got to have 3D printers in their backpacks. I think I told you in the theater. Like it's so ridiculous. And I mean, it's like that in the book too. You never hear them picking the thumpers back up, but
the thumpers are so crucial, but like you think that like those are like a heavily traded commodity amongst the Fremen. You know what I mean? Like if you need a thumper, it's like, well, man, there's only one way you're gonna get one. Like they must be like a heavily traded,
you gotta go
pricey commodity. Yeah, what a thankless job making thumpers that you'll never see again. I mean, never see again. I mean,
it's a job.
Unless they know where those worms crap and they find thumpers in their crap everywhere, because
thumpers. The crap is the spice.
Is that really? Oh, you're right.
Spices,
and maybe they'll eat anything though. So
that's true.
Do they explain? Not to get off topic, but in the books, do they explain how spice, like how they used it to travel? Like, do they explain that process at all, or they just say spices?
That's one thing the movie doesn't talk about at all. So the movie is definitely like Denny purposely leaves out the Mentats, who's the guy who turns his eyeballs white in the first movie. He survives in the book, and he's just a prisoner of the Harkonnen, so he comes back at the end. Mentats are like living computers because there was a war in their past, which is not too far from our future, where AI took over. So they don't use AI; they have human computers basically. And then there's spice can really mutate you if you take too much of it, and you become a navigator. And these are mutated, disgusting, alien-looking humans. They're basically not human anymore. They're like another species of alien. And the spice opens their mind so much they can read star charts and plot a course through hyperspace where they're not going to hit a rock or an asteroid or a planet. And you need the spice to travel. That's how they do it without AI and stuff. Are these gross, mutated, giant, ugly things. But the movies, I was really hoping to see one in this movie. I totally forgot, which it's to the credit of the movie that I forgot. But I was really looking forward to seeing what they would think those would look like.
So spice is like Star Trek's dilithium crystals. Is that what you're telling me?
In a way, but it unlocks people's minds.
Okay.
And mutates you if you take too much. Yeah.
And Arrakis is the only planet that has it.
That has spice because it's the only planet that has sand where sandworms can survive. Yeah.
Nobody thought to take a baby sandworm and take it to another planet where there's desert.
They can. They don't survive.
Really?
That's the whole plot of like the upcoming books, because Paul has promised the Fremen, I'm going to turn Dune into a tropical paradise. And, you learn what terraforming Arrakis is going to do to the sandworms, which is going to ruin space travel and cause all sorts of problems.
Cool. That's in the next movie, you think? That's what you're saying?
That is not in the next movie.
That's in the other books.
That's
okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, I think this went well. I like this. I like talking about a newer film, not having us about the facts.
Yeah, it's a little different. I like it.
I know our next one is going to be Frozen Empire, right? We're doing the
next
Ghostbusters one. Is that it?
No, I think.
Or is it Roadhouse?
Roadhouse was going to be our next one, and then Ghostbusters.
Right.
They come out so like close to each other, but I think it'll probably be Roadhouse and then Ghostbusters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Roadhouse, Ghostbusters.
I think we talked about doing the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, Godzilla. Yep.
Godzilla. On the Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes will be a lead up into it now showing.
Yeah, and we did a episode of Roadhouse for our lead up as well. The Patrick Swayze one, which we already watched and recorded, so that'll be on the Patreon as well. I guess I know we're gonna go into our second set, but why don't you, our selection show, if you will, of season 17. But before we go, why don't you I guess do our little Patreon pitch, and also do the usual stuff that you like to do.
So thank you guys who are Patreons. Thank you guys who are returning viewers who watched our show before we took our little hiatus.
Before I took it, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. It's called controlling the narrative. Field.
Shut up.
Before our rebirth, and thank you for watching to new viewers, because YouTube's kind of new for us. Before we just had the audio, this is all kind of newish, the video stuff. This live stream was available to the public. I think a few of the live streams, the next few live streams are going to be probably at least until we start season 17, which is our next season, May 1st. Just to have people kind of jump on the live streams and see what it's like, see if you like it. If you like it, then once we bring it over to the Patreon, you can join the Patreon tier that has live streams. I believe it's the 3rd tier, and then you can, join in, chat with us. I've got my laptop open here. I'm watching both the StreamYard and YouTube channels, trying to see if anybody's talking to us about what they thought of the movie. And we'll put this episode out probably the next day or the day after for everybody. So if you didn't catch the live stream version of this, you're probably watching the what we've recorded and put out. So thank you for watching that. We got more content coming at you. If you like what you see, join the Patreon. It really helps. A lot of the stuff, we want to keep making this bigger and better. We want to build a community around films in a way that I don't think either of us have really seen online to the degree where we'd like to do it. So if you join, you get into our Discord group. We'll have to talk movies. We do these live streams, all that kind of stuff to help build the community and build the Forgotten Cinema brand through Patreon. And that's all I got. I really want those anti-gravity suits from Dune.
That you have to poop in?
The ones where you can like jump off and then you just slowly
go. Yeah. Okay. I'll work on that.
All right, thanks. So yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome. Yeah. Sweet. See you around. I
we
know
should
we're
do
not
the-
going anywhere. I just think, what's up?
Well, we should still do
Oh,
the
you
ending
want me to do?
because I'm
All
not
right,
going to attach
so
the season selection to it. Yeah.
all right, fun. All right. Okay. So I'm Mike Field,
Mike Butler.
and this has been Forgotten Cinema, now showing Dune Part 2. That's good, right?
All right, that's good. All right. I'm going to use the facility.
So I got to sit here alone. I'm
I'm gonna put the starting
All
scene
right.
video back up real quick.
All right.
I'll be right back.
What's up?
Welcome back. I've left the deserts of Arrakis, and I am back to my Forgotten Cinema colors.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. What were they colored before?
They were orange and
I didn't even catch that. I didn't even realize that. Oh, God, that's so terrible. That's awful. All right, Butler. Who picked the last? No, I'm just kidding. Who picked the last movie?
Do you want to, before we begin, do you want to share your phone screen with the Notes app?
Can I? What do you mean? You want me to?
Well, you're logged in under. How would we do that? I don't know if you can join twice as field under your phone or whatever. Or no, because because you have your Mac. You can just present there.
I can share the screen. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to show them our big list or if you just want to pop up the list every once in a while as we're going.
Like this? Like that?
No, where it says present and you can present the notes.
Yeah, but I can present slides, a video file, and I can share the screen. That's what I can do.
Right.
But if I share the screen, it's going to be us on screen. Like, watch. No one's watching. Watch. Never. Excuse me. I have to go through. Forget it. It's asking me to quit.
On here, I can go through Windows and I can just show certain things.
Oh, you're right. I can. Me too. I can. Hang on. It won't let me because it'll kick me out and I won't be able to come back in. It'll kick me out of it'll shut down Chrome and I'll have to dial back in unless you want me to do that.
Oh, is that what it says?
It says I have to give permissions and then once I do it, it's going to restart Chrome.
Oh, then fuck it. No.
Right. Never mind. But next time I will.
Yeah. I'll give you permissions before we start, I guess.
No. I have to give my computer permission.
I thought you meant like I have permission to stream.
No, I would just leave I would leave StreamYard.
I get what
come
you're
back
saying.
in.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I
could
do that.
Comments. When did those pop up? Oh,
those are me, dude.
They came late. You just did them, yeah.
Because you had to sign in. You had to connect it, so I connected it. It wasn't connected.
Oh, I'm connected on my end.
I know, but I connected as Forgotten Cinema.
Oh, so now we can see the YouTube comments. I don't need two screens like I had. Sweet.
I think
yes. Yeah, I can see it on my YouTube screen as well. All right, cool.
So
that solves that. I'll still have the second screen just because I want to see.
Yeah.
I mean that was easy to have the laptop running the pre-show stuff.
Sure. All right, so I'm not gonna log out. We're gonna just go as is.
Let's just
right.
Yeah. Be like, hey guys.
All right, and this this is season 17, right? Because it's 4 years. We did 4 seasons a year. It's 17. I know it is. I don't know why I keep doubting myself.
Do you want me to go on Captivate real quick?
I can do it. Hang on.
I'm on my way.
So am I. How you don't put the seasons in there, do you?
On Captivate, yeah.
I'm logging in.
Conspiracy Theory was season 16. So yeah, 17.
Sweet. All right. I will put that above the Patreon ideas on that big list. Season 17. Oh, good Lord. Who picked Conspiracy Theory? Do you remember? Was that me?
I would say probably. But what was the one before Conspiracy Theory? I just took my.
Who cares? You pick first then.
It's an all new game. Oh, Lockout? Yeah, you could pick Conspiracy Theory because I definitely picked Lockout.
All right, then. To the list, Butler.
Woo!
Where are we going? What is the movie that we're starting off the rebirth?
Well, first of all, if you're here for the season selection, welcome. I will probably also put this up on YouTube just because. So, as a little intro, how you guys doing? All right, you guys are taking a behind the scenes look at how we pick our movies. It's a real advance.
It's very boring.
First one, Blank Man. No, I'm just kidding.
No. I should look too. I do have the big list of sequels too, that we can include those in our big list.
I was wondering that. I saw the sequel list. I was like,
yeah, go ahead. I mean, we didn't pick them for the Forgotten Takeover sequels, whenever that's happening.
that's right, John.
I'm calling you out.
So, Roadhouse is on here. We can take that off. I'll delete that now.
Oh, where is it? Oh, there you are. Oh, you're in there right now?
Done. Off.
Nice. Your face pops up in the note as you're editing it. God, these movies suck. I'm just kidding.
Let's start with something fun. Let's go with Real Steel as the first one.
Real Steel.
The Hugh Jackman Rock'em Sock'em Robots film.
Did you delete it off the list after you picked it? Because I'm gonna have to go down there.
No, because I saw you typing, so I didn't know if you knew where it was.
Oh, I got it.
You got
I already did it. Did my face pop up on your?
On my phone, I just see an MF. You probably see the face on the desktop version.
Yeah. I wish I could share a screenshot. Can I share a screenshot in the chat? Let's find out.
I don't think so.
Where's that screenshot? Where'd it go? The screenshot like disappeared. Now your face is gone anyways. All right, never mind. All right, let's see. What am I picking here? Let's see. What am I getting there? Do I want to do something raunchy comedy?
This season is not our Halloween.
No,
right?
That's not till next season.
Okay.
Because this would be May, June, July, and then August, September, October. Because they go 3 months. No, I'm going to go with...
we end July 24th this season. I think.
Yeah, okay.
That can't be right.
Just May, June, July, and then August, September, October. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, 13 weeks, July 24th. Yep.
I'm going into the 90s. Flirting with Disaster. Do you even remember that?
I know that's a movie title, but off the top of my head.
Ben Stiller, Patricia Arquette, trying to have a baby.
No.
Interesting.
Not ringing any bells.
Not trying to have the baby. That Ben Stiller's trying to find his parents or his father, his mother, something like that. Yeah. Anyways, you'll see.
Okay. Let's do the Abyss special edition.
Ooh, have you seen the special edition one? That's extended.
No, I haven't seen the special edition.
All right.
Just the regular, and it's been years and years. I haven't seen it since I was a little kid.
That's actually when it's more alien stuff in the Abyss.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen it since the VHS. I had a VHS copy.
James Cameron. Nice. What is this? Why are these all out of whack? I thought about this movie the other day, but I don't know if I want to do it.
Okay.
Maybe later in the season. Not right now. I think it's too close to the abyss. Oh man, I remember that movie. Arrival's on here. Interesting. So many movies, Butler.
So many movies.
I'm wondering if I should do one of these suggestions. Oh, you know what? Let's do. I am gonna do a suggestion, but it's not one of Pat's suggestions for that he just gave us. It's an older one. Let's do the Ides of March.
All right.
Do you even know what that is? Okay. Do you remember that one?
That's the Clooney movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gosling.
It was okay. Maybe it'd be better. Oh, was Gosling in it?
He plays the young.
Takes him hostage.
No, the Ides of March is like a political drama.
That's not the one where he's like the money talks. George Clooney's like the money talks kind of guy.
No, that when he's in the studio.
Yeah.
No. Ides of March is about. I'll read the synopsis for you. In Ohio's Democratic primary nears charming Governor Mike Morris, played by Clooney, seems a shoo-in for the nomination over his opponent, Senator Pullman, played by Michael Mantel. Morris's idealistic press secretary, Stephen Myers, whose Gosling believes in his candidate's integrity in the democratic process, but he has a dalliance with a young intern. So it's like an intrigue kind of. You'll like it. I put it on the list. Pat suggested it. You'll like it.
I remember the poster for it, but I did think it was.
We'll have to get Pat. Yeah, it's the Time magazine when their faces are in half. Yep. We'll have to get Pat to do like a why he suggested it kind of thing. Are you looking?
I'm looking, yes. Sorry.
Number 5.
So we're into June. Big time summer movie. So many movies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do Mr. and Mrs. Smith because I remember hating it. I will delete it from the list.
Really? I'm not watching the TV show. Do I have to watch the TV show?
I heard the TV show is very good, but you don't have to watch it. I haven't watched it.
I don't want to. I just don't want to commit to it.
Boring. I've deleted it off the list.
Oh, did you? Good. I was like looking for it.
Did it's deleted? That's the list. Everybody's blurry.
All right.
Can't see it.
All right. Let's see.
What do you got? What do you got?
Why is an American Werewolf in Paris on this list?
We were talking about how it's forgotten and nobody remembers it existed, so we put it on the list.
Oof.
It's bad.
All right. I want to do an older film that I really haven't seen completely. I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay.
But I want to do that. So I think we're going to do the 1984 film, The Killing Fields.
Was that on the list?
Yeah, I put it on the list. Do you need me to read the synopsis again?
I'll figure it out.
I like that. That's fine.
What do you got? Read me the synopsis. What's it about?
New York Times reporter Sidney Schanberg, who is played by Sam Waterston, is on assignment covering the Cambodian Civil War with the help of local interpreter Dith Pran, an American photojournalist Al Rockoff, and an American for all Jews. When the U.S. Army pulls out amid escalating violence, Schanberg makes exit arrangements for Pran and his family. Pran, however, tells Schanberg he intends to stay in Cambodia to help cover the unfolding story, a decision he may regret as the rebels move in. Yes.
Exhilarating.
You will be exhilarated.
We'll see.
You wanted to bring the podcast back. I know I can't keep bringing that up.
All right. After what is probably going to be kind of a deep introspective movie, let's go Joe versus the volcano.
Oh my God! Really?
You don't like Joe versus the volcano? I haven't
don't
seen
remember
it. In some time.
I don't remember liking it, but that was probably because it was so different from his other films.
It's got some great lines. It is really weird.
No. I know. All right. Did you delete it?
I deleted it.
All right. I'll pick the movie that I wasn't going to pick because I didn't want to.
Okay.
No, like I didn't want to do it right away, right after The Abyss. But since
okay.
it's summer, let's go Super 8.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you were.
Yeah.
So close.
So we'll go Super 8.
Nice. What number are we on now?
9. We are on number 9.
Number 9.
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. Sir.
Let's get something off the top of the list. Let's go Delta Force.
Ooh, oh my God, really?
I didn't put that there. You put that there.
I know I did. I mean, who doesn't love Chuck Norris? Am I right?
I saw it once a long time ago on like the Saturday night WB11 movies.
Nice. All right. I also was going to go on the top of the list because I saw something. I was like, let's go Sorority Boys.
Maybe we could see if we get some cross promotion. Get on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast.
Listen, I like that movie. I don't care.
We're deep in July now. So deep in July, let's go Born Legacy.
Which one's that?
It's the one with that's the fourth one where it doesn't have Matt Damon. Renner, yeah.
Is it The Born Legacy or just Born Legacy? Do you know?
I'm sure it's The Born Legacy, but I wrote it down as Born Legacy.
Did you delete it?
No, I remember having seen it. I'll find it if you don't.
No, I got it. It is The Born Legacy. Okay.
It's his legacy. I remember hating it the first watch, then watching it again in the theaters with Elise and being like, actually, if you ignore the fact that it's not bad.
All I remember that movie is him on the boat at the end. That's all I remember.
Take pills to make him not dumb.
Great. To make him not dumb?
One pill makes him strong and the other pill makes him not dumb. He's got a learning disorder and the pill is like kind of like the limitless pill.
Whatever. Can't wait. All right, let's see. I'm joking. You know what? Only because we kept talking about this movie, and I'm just gonna put it on. We're doing it. Striking Distance.
I was wondering which one of us was gonna put Striking Distance this season.
I'm just putting it on there. Let's get it over with.
So that's 11. So we're on 12 now.
That's 12.
That is 12.
That's 12.
The last one of the season. Whew. Let's finish off the summer with Two Guns. I've got it right here. I'll delete it.
Oh, with Denzel,
Mark Wahlberg, and Bill Paxton. Rest in peace.
Oh God, that's gonna make me depressed.
Yep.
So we've got it. These are the movies we're doing: Real Steel, Flirting with Disaster, The Abyss Special Edition, The Ides of March versus the Pat Whalen suggestion, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, The Killing Field, Joe versus the Volcano, Super 8, Delta Force, Sorority Boys, The Bourne Legacy, Striking Distance, and Two Guns. Nice. It's a good season. I like this. All right, we're getting back into it.
That's right.
Get back into it. Ugh. And
Get ready.
those we're gonna do in person. So once this is done back here,
We
those
hope.
we'll do in person. And obviously, what's up?
We hope.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's the plan. So if maybe you have to come over and help put stuff up, that might happen, but we'll see. Because I
do need more
tough for me
foam.
to. I don't know because if we're putting posters
because
up
there'd
and
be
stuff, I
actual
might not.
illustrations and stuff.
Right. So I might not need more foam. But that's easy to get. So
Yeah.
and I still have foam stored away because
We
I
had
use it
extra foam?
all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So we just have to figure out. I just have to figure out like what's it going to look like once it expands a little, and where the stuff's going to go, and what's going to look good for the camera and whatnot. So yeah, awesome.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I got nothing else.
So for anybody at home, that's our season. I'm sure we'll be blasting it out on social media and stuff.
I probably will wait until, like, if people watch the episode, they'll find it. But like,
if not,
I'll
it'll be a little while.
I mean, I'll maybe what do you want me to wait a week or something?
Oh, whenever you feels right. We got other stuff we can promote in the meantime.
I mean, I've still got I got the 3 other commercials to put out. Our little like montage commercials. I'm trying to space those out until May. I know we got to do a commercial. That'll probably be something we put out the first week in April. So last week of April.
Oh, I asked Russ. Says he's going to help us film it.
Okay. Well, we can talk about that off camera. People don't need to hear this. So, all right. So yeah, thanks, Mike. Take us away.
So yeah, thank you for watching our season selection. It was a thing. So I'm sure we'll be a little quicker with it, or a little bit more. It's the first time getting back in the groove, picking the seasons, but that's how we do it. It's not exciting. It's like the NFL draft. Only the movies don't come out and like we're on the couch with their mom. They get picked, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys are Patreon members at certain tiers, you can vote for the movies. We're going to have voting, depending on or one of the movies each season. Different tiers get to vote for what movie we're going to do. And then the higher tiers actually get to pick. They get an executive producer pick each season, where we'll rotate who gets that pick of the season, whoever's an executive producer once we get them. And they actually just get to pick a movie straight up that we'll do, as long as it's appropriate. And we have the ability to find it. If you pick a movie we can't find, we'll probably ask you to choose again. But yeah. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys are excited. Our new season 17 is coming. We're pretty pumped about it. Getting the ball rolling again. And if you haven't
more
yet,
stuff to
check out
come.
our other episodes.
Awesome.
This is Mike Butler saying good night. Good luck.
I'm not saying anything. I'll end it like I end all my work meetings on Teams. Bye.
And like
Cutting out. Sorry, I can't hear you.
All right. Ending stream.